Okay, you did not get a video this morning. You're getting one tonight instead. The Art of Positivity. Let's just say life threw another curve at us. I wanted to show you this one I finally did finish, and you can see where I used gel pens there. So anyway, and on these leaves here, I just like to go back and show you from time to time when one is finished. And then, let's see, we're actually working on this one. I said I was going to come back and we were going to talk more about layout of colors and stuff like that. So, to make something more interesting to the eye, it's good if you do things in triangles of color. So like here is a triangle. And then I will probably make that book the reddish pink and maybe the rose on this. Okay. Then this is blue, so I would probably make one of these blue and maybe one of these blue. Then the yellow, I would make the opposite one, maybe yellow, and maybe some yellow on. In fact, I could do one of these books in yellow and then one of these items in yellow, but just triangulating. Also, if you're adding something to a page on your own and you want to make it more interesting, then that would mean that doing in odd numbers. So if you've got a page, so let's say I was going to add to this page. Maybe I want to add butterflies. I don't know. I would probably do triangle and probably do 3. If you do 2, it's going to look balanced, but it's going to look just a little off. It's just more pleasing to the eye if you do odd numbers. Now, but you say, oh, but look, there's an even number of flowers. But there's an odd number of different types of flowers. You have these, you have this, and you have these. Okay, just one bird. Want to add more birds? You can add one like here, but then come up and add one here. Okay, work in your triangle. It's just like cooking. In your home, you probably have your stove, refrigerator, and dishwasher. It's probably triangulated. Or your sink. You know? It's just the way the mind works. So, all right, colors that we did not use last time. Actually, let's go ahead and triangulate some of this, like we just talked about. So if I'm going to do this heart in pink, and then I'm going to come up here and do this in the pinks. So that would triangulate this. So if I'm still grabbing the right colors, we did, and then I'll start my story. Oh yeah, this is a tale. 34, which was my rose pink. 80, which was grenadine. And 86, which was magenta. So, yeah, we got a call. Actually, let me go back just a little. We did not get our COVID tests back that we were clear right away. They lost them or something, so we finally got them yesterday. But in the meantime, we had gone and bought some more home tests. We found some, and we were pretty sure we were clear, so yeah, we went ahead and went in the store. But I called ahead, had them hold them, and I used my charge card at the checkout, and the guy put them in the bag and slid them to me. So I didn't have to touch anything. They didn't have to wipe anything down. So you can see I'm doing the light, the medium, and the dark. The dark down there in the V. And then I'm going to come back with my lighter color and kind of blend those a little bit. So anyway, we went to the parking lot then. I just ran in and got them. Came back to the parking lot. We sat there, did our tests. And that was on, what is today, Wednesday? Tuesday, that was Monday. So we knew we were clear. We got a call Monday afternoon, no, evening, at like 8 o'clock, that my mother-in-law's new husband, well, not new, about 6 or 7 years now. So they're in their 80s. They both have the beginnings of dementia. I don't know if I've shared that with you before. So he had gone to the local grocery store and then to their little diner on the corner and back home. He left before it got dark. Well, here it's been getting dark about 5:30, which is early for us. And she called us at like 8. And she said she was beside herself. So we are 25, 30, 40 minutes away, depending on traffic. And we had just been cleared of COVID. So we were like, okay, do we need to come? And she's like, no, I just talked to my husband's sister, her daughter, and said that her husband was on his way because she had hurt her back and could not come herself, so her husband was coming. And we're all really close. Everybody just loves my mother-in-law to death, so that was good. So anyway, long story short, we went out, spent the night. They did a missing persons report. His car ended up being up on the missing persons silver alert when you're going down the highway. And so we went over, we spent the night, the police, everybody's out looking. Fine, they've gone to his old house from before they got married. They checked the church parking lot, just everywhere that they felt like his memory might have taken him back to. Next morning, about 6 a.m., we get a phone call that he's sitting at, I guess it was the next town over, 2 towns over, at a truck stop, and they had him drinking a cup of coffee, but that he was very disoriented, didn't know what he was doing there, couldn't tell him much of anything, but he had gone in to evidently get gas and get directions because he was lost. And somebody walked in and said, hey, that car out there is on the alert system. You need to detain whoever it is. And so then we got a call. So we went with our car and went and picked him up in his car. And he was like, oh, look, we're having a party. So yeah, he was just disoriented, but he was fine. So anyway, to be continued. I'm going to change colors. I'm going to go to the blues that we used on this one down here. So that was Cobalt Turquoise, number 48, and Cypress Green, 103. So how many of you are coloring and how many are just sticking around for the story? So anyway, it does all end okay. So now I want to look before I go with this and see where my other colors are going to be, because I've got yellow to go, and I can put yellow on this teacup and it looks good. I can do yellow here, I could do blue there, I could do blue here, I could do blue up here. So I think I'm going to pick blue for these 2 places because I don't want to end up with all of this left over. Then that also makes me think maybe I should put one of my colors here. I think I'm going to go ahead and go with, I'm going to go with this and one of these cups. Actually, I don't want 2 cups. So I'm going to do the mug and one of these. All right, so that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, hubby's mom has not been feeling real good for several weeks. So once we get him home, she's beside herself. She's so upset. And So they finally convince her, the two kids do, because they're both there that morning. They decide that they're going to take her to the doctor. So they actually end up taking her to a clinic or a hospital or something. And after doing a bunch of tests, I mean, they're gone for hours. And I sit home with the one that had gotten lost just to make sure he's okay and that he's staying put, because he still doesn't realize that it's a different day. He thinks it's the same day as when he went to Kroger. So I think by the time we finally left, he understood why everybody was so upset. And he was really embarrassed by it. But anyway, so mother-in-law ended up with just a UTI and dehydrated, so they gave her an IV. And just vertigo. So talked to her. So then we came home. Was that yesterday? Yeah, we came home then yesterday. And we just were exhausted. And I got up this morning and I was like, oh, I didn't do a video. And I was like, you know what? I have such awesome viewers. They're not going to care. They're going to understand. So that's why you're getting a video now instead of this morning. Surprise. So anyway, now I'm back to the lighter, and I'm going to do the lighter in this middle section and then go dark on the sides so that that area looks more wrapped around. Okay. And I'll probably do a little bit of dark right here on the edges too, just to help with that visual of looking rounded. But anyway, we talked to her today and she's feeling better. Just pray for her. She's still not eating really good, but they are like 87. So we do understand that that all plays into effect. She has not left. That was probably the first time she had left the house in weeks because she just doesn't get out. She's afraid of falling, and she just doesn't have that want to be out. Now he does. He loves to drive, so he's still itching to get out. But like he had a games day at the church this morning, and she said he did not go and didn't even throw a stink about not going. So I think he knows that his driving days are about done too. So yeah, just pray for them, pray for us. Needless to say, we've had, between having COVID and then that, we've had a very interesting 2 weeks. So now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do this cup, I believe. But so anyway, we still have not had Christmas yet. We will be having Christmas with our family, with our children, either Saturday or Sunday. So we did get to see our granddaughter the other day. Once we did our home tests and got cleared, they invited us over. So we made a quick run over there and spent a couple hours just visiting and getting to see her. And she's 2 now, so we took her birthday gift and gave that to her while we were there. I had made her a purple Afghan. I had crocheted one. In fact, when she sees yarn on the shelf at the store, she says, crochet, crochet. And we're like, no, it's yarn. And she goes, no, Grandma, crochet. So we gave her that, and she cuddles with it now in bed. I made it toddler size. And then we gave her some new, let's see, bed sheet, a book, a Daniel Tiger book that makes noise and it teaches manners and stuff. And then, let's see, did I say crib sheet already? Crib sheet. And, oh, one of those wash rags that you put it in water and it expands. Got her one of those too. She found that very interesting. She'd not seen one of those yet. And then, like I said, we'll have Christmas with them this weekend and we'll get everything else that's wrapped out of the house. I was so glad I'd wrapped presents way before COVID. Way before we had gotten that. But anyway, Yeah, so after being with stepfather-in-law, talking all those hours, there was just no way to talk today and do a video, or yesterday and get it out in time. So I know you were all very understanding on all that, so I appreciate it. But that's our life. So we're hoping things will get a little better now. It's been a wild 2.5 weeks. But we are looking to put some things into motion that will not have them at home by themselves as much. So just pray for guidance on that. It's all being looked into. Okay, what other colors? I did the yellow, so let's go to our yellows some. We've got same ones as before. 02, which is primrose yellow. That's going to be like a buttercream or just some sort of soft yellow. And then this 04 is cadmium yellow light. So that would just be a bright yellow. And then 09, which is brilliant yellow, which is going to be more like your, if it's paint, it would be yellow ochre, turns yellow, something like that. So it's more with a little touch of orange in it. And I never did finish this, so I am going to go ahead and finish this off. I'm going to do the slices. Yeah, I do still have the cough from COVID. They said that could last a while. But other than that, really feeling pretty good. My eyes are not watering like they used to. Not nearly as foggy in my thinking, which is good with what we had to go through yesterday, the night before. So, anywho, yeah, life just keeps going on. It stops for no one till you're done. Alrighty, there's that. Yeah, I think after we have Christmas with the kids this weekend, I am going to concentrate on getting the tree taken down and all that put up, get the house back in order, and then I can look at cleaning up this room so that I can give y'all a walkthrough on it. Now, let's see. We know on the color wheel that purple is across from yellow. So we know if we put a yellow book right next to that purple, it's going to pop nicely. So I think my triangle is at least going to go this way. And I'm going to pick this book right here. And I'm using the medium yellow, that middle yellow that I had, instead of the lightest. Not sure why, it's just what was in my hand. I'm following that across. And then here. And then the darker shade, which would be your yellow ochre or something like that. Yeah, so I was glad to hear that some of y'all got some new supplies. I read that in your comments. So that's fun. Still don't know on mine. So, all right, so yellow, yellow, and then something over in here. I think I'm going to do the trim on this cup in yellow and maybe the flower, because then we're still working in that triangle. And I think what I'm going to do is the middle in the lightest shade, and then the middle at the top. Now, because this is at the bottom and the cup is overhanging it some, I'm not going to put this lightest color down there. So in that aspect, I am thinking what would be in the shadows. And this is closest to the top, so it would be the lightest area. Okay? Then my medium shade would be the middle for here. And then right here. Then I'm going to use it around the flower. And then I didn't get right up next to the circle just yet. I'm going to use the darker shade for that. Okay. And normally, if I had planned my colors out better, which I don't always do when I'm doing videos, sometimes I fly by the seat of my pants. I would have done the yellow before the purple, because if I actually go into that purple, I could accidentally pull it into the yellow. So you want to do your lighter colors first and the darker ones last. So I changed out to the darker shade. So if I were to actually use black on this page somewhere, I would do that last. That way I'm not pulling the black out into the rest of the picture if I accidentally go into it. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm just going around there, just a little bit of color difference, and I'll get lighter as I come out. There we go. Yeah, we've noticed too since COVID that we've needed afternoon naps. That's been an adjustment. Just not used to taking afternoon naps. Okay, then I'm going to come in with some green. How are we time-wise, y'all? 22 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to do some green real quick. I had pulled number 107. That is mint green. So any kind of sage or minty green. And then phthalo green light, which is number 51. So just a shade darker that you like that goes together. Okay? Now, because I've got so much stuff right there and here, I know I'm going to pick those two spots. And then I think I'm going to do this teacup that's right here in the middle with the other one. So I'm going to use the lighter of the two shades up here on top. And this just shows you not everything with hearts has to be in pinks and reds. Okay? You can use other shades too. There we go. All right, so y'all that are watching or at least letting it play through ads, not skipping. Actually, I think they're so short, I'm not sure you can skip them. I'm trying to keep them really short, but I appreciate it. Just wanted to say thank you for that. And yeah, looking to hopefully get a lot more viewers this year. I want to do more videos besides just coloring, but I don't want to lose my coloring folks. So y'all tell me what kind of videos you're interested in. I make a mean key lime fudge. I could, I guess, post or do a video on that recipe. Let's see. I knit, I crochet, I do faux stained glass with gallery glass, but I don't think I've even kept all the supplies from that. I think when I started just paring down some of my supplies, that might have been something I got rid of. I'm going to go ahead and do this set of tongs for the little sugar cubes in this green, just because I need to start splitting some of this up that's left. So I'm going to get this area, and then I'm going to get what's up here on top. And then I'll come in with the darker shade for the other. Let's see, what else do? I scrapbook. I do diamond dots. I've needle tatted. I've done jewelry making. Tell you something easy to do is making your own jump rings. If you make jewelry, don't buy those jump rings. Make your own. It is so very easy to make them. Let's see, I sew. If you sew and you're into the face masks, I did at least one video on how to sew your own face masks. So I've already done that. But yeah, I used to make my husband's suits when we first got married. Yeah, welted pockets and everything. I've made a wedding dress. I've done all kinds of stuff. So I tell people that I don't keep a lot of stuff in my brain. And my daughter told me once, she goes, Mama, it's because you got so much other stuff in your brain. And I said, you know what? That could be right. Now, do you see what I'm doing with my finger? I'm running it along the line across the top. And as I color, I hit my finger so that I don't go over that line. I'm going to do the same thing here so I don't go into the circle. It allows me to get that color in there without having to be quite so careful. And we've talked about that before, using your finger as a stop, so to speak, when you're coloring. And I'm not sure I'm going to come back to this page online for video. I may just move on to something else with y'all, because I think we've done enough that you're seeing how to go around in different areas. That's what I really wanted to get across to you on this, was just how to spread the colors around where you don't get the same colors side by side. Now, could you have done a set of something and gone ahead and purposely put those colors side by side? For sure. Yes, why not? In fact, I keep talking about markers in this book, and I'm going to get to some markers soon. I have some oil-based from Coloria. Not oil-based, alcohol-based, excuse me. And so I may move into those on the next video. We'll see. I'm not real sure yet. And if a video's not out on time, it's because I'm still hacking. Now, I am going to come through here and do right under. And what that does is allows that lip to look like it's sticking out a little. Okay? So anyway, that's it for this time. Yeah, more story than color. Sorry about that. It happens. But you know what? I'm saying next time I'm on, it's going to be better. So, all right. I will talk to you all later. Have a good 2, 3, 4 days. I will be back, and we will talk more then. Okay. Thanks for listening to me ramble. Bye.